Good morning. Welcome to Spirituality Gone Wild. And it's definitely gone wild today. Oh, can I tell you? It's time for a Cuppa Grata. Good morning. I'm Debbie G. That's with a shot of expression and 2 squirts of reality. And we have a fabulous co-squirt today. She's been here before. You see her every week with me on Women Rising. Her name is Robyn Davis. And she is the Mothership Alliance. And she will be with us momentarily. First, I am actually going to play you something really super from our friend Keith St. John. When the shutdowns and everything first started, he and his gorgeous, beautiful, I love you so much, Sherry Lou, his girlfriend, created these beautiful rock and roll masks. So I'm going to play this because if you guys are looking for, if you're a rocker out there like me and you want a different mask to choose from, the rock and roll ones are totally sweet. And now he's got even newer stuff. But anyway, in the meantime, just check this out, enjoy it, and I'll be right back with Robyn Davis. Oh!
Hey, everybody, what's going on? The Plow Zone is here with my co-host, Scott M. Reese.
How's it going out there?
Keith St. John. Doing a Zoom thing right now, man. He's got a bunch of things going on. He's always busy. The man is always busy, but he's got some things going on he wants to share with us, man. So let's start with the masks, man. So, hey, you started these masks for the coronavirus, correct?
That's right. Well, yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Me and my partner, Sherry Lou, we were already we were starting a clothing line for rock and roll clothes, and we actually started some custom work for all kinds of people, Brad Gillis and just all kinds of guys that I know that needed clothes. And so we had sewing machines around, we had material, we had stuff going on, and then this Corona thing hit, and we started thinking about ordering our own face masks, and we said, well, why don't we just make some? We got all this stuff. Let's make some. And they look kind of cool. And we showed some of our friends, and they're like, man, you guys should just make a bunch of them and see what happens. So we did. We put up a quick little company on the web, and it's really easy. Just start a little thing on the social media and put up a website. We started rock and roll face masks. We got all these patterns. Actually, you know what? This is kind of what they look like. So they have these like elastic straps on the side here. I got the one that I was wearing. Right? They're adjustable. You tie them. It's got a inner organic cotton lining for people who like organic cotton only on their face. The outer is 100% cotton as well. This pouch slips a little filter inside of it. You can order those rectangular kind of sort of clothy, papery filters. You get about 200 for about $10, and you stick them in here. And every time, then you're 100% protected.
So if someone wants to get a hold of you and buy a mask, where do they go?
They can go to one of 3 places. They can go to keithstjohn.com. They can go to rockandrollfacemasks.com. Go to rockandroll, andfacemasks.com. Or look up any of the above on Facebook, and they can find these. And there's a video that's a 1-minute video that'll show you everything about them really fast. And a really nice, easy ordering page, easy to order off of, easy communication. There's a ton of patterns, and you can find them online.
Right here, man. Plow Zone Radio show mask, man.
Love you, Keith. We love Keith St. John, and we love the Plow Zone right here on Spirituality Gone Wild. So now it's time for a cup of grata. That's a cup of gratitude. Literally a cup of gratitude. And we are going to welcome Robyn Davis. Robyn is just an extraordinary, forward-thinking. She creates waves in the universe. She's etheric, she's awesome, she's magical, she sparkles. She loves unicorns like me. Welcome. Robyn Davis. Hi, unicorn lady.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
You having that kind of time right now. I love that. Good morning. Look at she's
I
superwoman.
do.
Cuppa Grata.
You know what? I use everything I got. Like, oh, I need some Wonder Woman juice, especially this morning. So Debbie and I were speaking last night and about what's on my heart or what we're going to talk about. And I'm like, I want lighten up.
Lighten up.
Lighten up.
Lighten up.
And I'm like, hey, I'm not winking at you all. I'm having an allergy attack. So I'm gonna, look, this is the cosmic jester. My sister calls it the cosmic jester. And it's like, I'm working on this huge fair, fun fair. And, I was exhausted. I woke up late. I have a massive allergy attack. I can't find my antihistamine eye drops. I'm taking my stuff. Debbie's like, I'll play a commercial. and guidance is like, yeah, lighten up. Okay, go ahead. And I'm like,
It is. Yep, girl. I is one thing I know.
Done though.
You what?
I got the coffee done though,
dude. Right? I'm like,
what
a cup of gratitude right there. Actually,
my aunt gave me this.
I love that cup. I mean, it is really so sexy. It's super sexy cup. Super. So lighten up is yeah. What happens when things aren't? we all know who her archetype is. Did you see that?
Yes, that's right.
Is it number 2 coming out?
Yes, and they're going to release it streaming at the same time they release it in theaters because obviously half people can't go to the theaters. I'm like, yes!
Oh, heck. Oh, my God. We need to have like a party behind the scenes, dude.
Oh, my gosh. Can we have a watch party? I mean, we'd
have to do it privately, guys, because we're not allowed to do that. And we can't charge you or anything, but, you know.
Yeah, no, girlfriend party.
Girlfriend party.
Share this screen. I mean, that scene, if you guys have, I hope you saw the last Wonder Woman. Oh. Like everybody out there. When she came out of the trenches and onto the field, I was crying. I'm like, I mean, with my kids with me too. They're just like, okay, Mom, reel it in.
Get it together, Mom. Come on now. Really. Jesus. Okay, I know. My God.
I'm like, you don't understand. We're transcending war. It's not. She's got everything she's going for it. Okay. All right.
Lighten up. And you know, it's like the minute that you said that, I'm thinking lighten up, and then I go to like Robert Plant back in the day, and he's got that lighten up, baby, I'm in love with you, tall, cool one, and I'm built to please. Remember that song? And it's like lighten up, lighten up, So then I've had lighten up stuck in my brain.
And look at Debbie, she's got all her lights behind her. I can get some lights behind my office. Is a little drab compared to.
Yeah, I've got everything is very foofy in my room. You would think that I was 17 years old literally. I've got love and joy and pink soft angel wings and a rock and roll spirit. Hello.
Oh, that I know that's so combination right now that you got going on is like, I love it. It's perfect. It's so you. Well, it might be coming today or tomorrow. I got the green screen back chair thing. Have you seen that?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasters of the universe.
Yeah.
There's the gamers, of course, gamers always they move this whole tech forward, right?
Always. These are gaming headphones because I haven't been able to find. I have to be able to hear really well because I went to too many concerts. But okay, so what did they got now?
So it is, I was a photographer for many, many years. And so I do a lot of the pop-up backgrounds. You know how you can fold them up into just a ring and then you can have a bounce ring or whatever. It's the same thing. And it's a green screen. And so it packs into a nice little circle. And it's a green screen that pops up because a lot of problems with the green screen for people is, of course, that it's not flat and they got to iron it or whatever. You know what I mean? And then where there's shadow or a wave, it's popping through your galaxy that you're trying to achieve there, you know?
Yeah.
And it goes on your chair, so it'll strap with a Velcro thing. It pops up a big circle of green behind you, and then mounts on your chair. So then when you move, it goes with you, and then you just light it pretty evenly. And for Zoom calls and for those programs that allow the green screen,
But what if you don't? But if you don't have really good technology, if you don't have a really strong operating system, the green screens look terrible.
For Zoom, they're not bad.
No, I don't like them personally. I like real backgrounds because I'm noticing that they always fade into they lose their hand. Like it'll suddenly go it's went off into the distance somewhere. And I'm like, what are you hiding back there behind that green screen? I always want to know what's behind the green
Well, and especially when they do it with a really nice house. I'm like, that's not your house.
Right, dude. I'm like, this is me. This really is. Yeah, I got to think about that.
Crap show laundry pile.
But I mean, that is still really
everybody else.
Yeah, even though it is still really cool. Okay, this is really cool. And
the fact I just want to do it to have fun with it because lighten up. I like shenanigans. I want to do some shenanigans. But I totally agree with you. And I have like really scrappy. This is the hair I have. So thank God, because I woke up late. So I just mess it up, and that's the style.
So freaking cute! Oh my God!
But on a green screen, all the fuzz goes away, so it's sort of like a little helmet.
Yeah, no, I like you have special unicorn hair, especially like right now, this very second. It's just very unicorny.
With an allergy running nose, and
which only you can see, so it's good.
Okay,
but good. I mean, okay, so all right, I'm gonna talk to you about something real.
Okay.
Okay, so this happened yesterday. All right, guys, you know how I am. I got to talk to you about something real. Robyn, I've been doing this work for so freaking long. And what is this work, in case any of y'all are new to this? This means working on my self-love, self-appreciation, self-talk, noticing my behaviors, patterns, am I shifting, whatever the case may be. That's the work. Practices. So all these practices I've been doing for a long time, and so have you, and a lot of you also watching. So talk to the past relationship person of 13 years yesterday, because we had to. Every like few months we do a check-in. Now, mind you, I'm on really good terms. Like there's a massive we will always love each other as friends, because we were so just friends by the time that was all over. But you know what I found myself saying? And I'm still single. Why? For what freaking reason? Why did I need to tell him? Why is it any concern of his whether or not I'm single? Why did I find it necessary? It wasn't asked. So I'm offering up information, number one, that's not even necessary. Number two, why? This is a massive growth moment when I realized and sat back later on. It was like 10 minutes after the phone call ended. And I sat back and went, did I really? Why did I even say anything? And then I had to get a dig in. Oh God, you guys, this is Robyn. Fuck.
The confession booth, you guys.
That's
how we get her done, man.
Here's
cookies.
I had to get a dig in about the fact he's got a 33-year-old girlfriend. I had to dig it. And I did. And then I felt like such an asshole later. I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? It was so narcissistic, you guys. It was gnarly. It was like, I knew damn good and well what I was saying to him is that you're in midlife crisis. How is it for you? What an ass. Oh my God. It was not. Is it kind? Is it necessary? No, neither one of those were kind or necessary. Was it any of my business? Is it any of my business? Just because no, not. And was it? So I love myself, and I love that, and I love that I experienced this, but I hope y'all are hearing me that right now I'm being straight with you. Things like this happen, and when you step into that space, ask yourself why. Because I sat back and went, why? Why is it important to me? And then I thought, why is it? And I'm still at the why, like, why is it that I think that I need some sort of validation, acceptance, or anything else from anybody? And why do I find it important? Like, probably it's another dig. I'm thinking, you know why? because see, he wanted to be single. I was just like, yeah, whatever. And he's on a second relationship, and I've chosen to stay single, the one who never was single ever, ever. And I'm choosing. I think maybe it's like I'm choosing to be single. Like, I mean, like that's a freaking medal or some shit, you know?
you're
Like,
asking for the cosmic jester to take you out with like a heart train.
I swear.
I won't say, I won't put any of that out that I
No, I want
let
to
it go, but yeah,
now.
I'm like,
Here's what
I'm
we're gonna
staying
do.
single. I'm like, ha 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 ha.
We're
Okay,
I
yeah,
dude, right? I just okay. So, who wants to take a stab at this one? I thought it was pretty good personally. I'm really grateful for this moment right now, you guys, because I mean, I am sharing some gnarly nuggets of how that shit works. Look, I'm being real. The conversation was cool, but did I fall back into an old pattern behavior because I heard his voice and because I haven't, maybe there was little pieces that still needed to be swept away, which is what you're seeing right now, is that sweeping process when you acknowledge that something isn't for your best and highest good, which is what I'm doing here. But in that acknowledgement, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, but was I kind to this person? If I'm going to leave a heart print on the planet and that was the last damn thing I ever said to him, I feel like an idiot. Seriously. Why? Because I have precious needs that need to get met. What's that precious need? To be heard by this person who never heard me? I bet you that's it. But why? Because that's an old pattern belief. It was just stuck in there. All right, Robyn, now you can unpack it. Get it. I know you can get it.
You want me to get that?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm ready.
I'll give a lighten up side of that too. That sometimes I'll say things that are contrary to spiritual truths for people sometimes. And sometimes I think that our higher self will run down the stairs and take over the doorway here at the mouth. When sometimes we play as women too. I'm not saying, all right, what am I saying here? Like sometimes we tell people shit they need to hear. And it's like, okay, I shouldn't have, maybe they needed to hear it, but I'm not the judge. And then you needed to hear it. So everybody needed to hear it. Like, okay, let's look at that. How is he going to react? He should react like, I don't care. I love her. Great. Sorry, Debbie. Right. So like everybody involved, it's a symbiotic growth opportunity. And then you're like, okay, that's not my place to say that. You know, and then, you know, what's coming up for me is one time I had somebody that I love very much. And I was dealing with in a work situation. And we had an experience many times in this organization coming close to a lot of prosperity, a lot of money, a lot of funding. And then as soon as you get there, it would go away. Mm-hmm. And this particular person had deep money issues and money obsession issues. You don't obsess about mana, right? It's in the Bible. Even, you know, it talks about like, if you put it on there, it's going to be a problem. And so I was seeing this pattern over and over again of the money fear there, making it go away, or the obsession of the money or whatever. And so I said it to him and I said, listen, there seem to be money issues here that are big, that are blocking the door. And I think they're resolved, that the flow will go. But I've just, it's happening over and over again, and that got to stop, you know? And he snapped on me. This is when I had multiple lessons slap on the hands for me deciding what everybody else needed to do. Right. And so I have learned that lesson, and I tend to myself, and it's gone much, much better. But he said, it's not up to you to do my shadow work, you know? And I pulled back and I was like, you know what? You are so right. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's not my job to do your shadow work. However, it is my job not to stand in it. And I didn't. I had to step away. And it helped because you can get pulled into somebody else's black hole.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
yeah.
they're going in it and you're hanging on to them, it's like, oh shit, I'm going with. So, and when I did that, it was a big realization for me. Like, you know, it's a lot of times spiritual lessons, right, don't come in just one thing. Spirit likes to get a bunch of stuff done at once. Very efficient technology, I always say. You know, like get it done out the door. So I'm learning a personal lesson about, you know, mind your business, keep your side of the street clean, take care of your stuff, and the world will shift around you. Also about, you know, the energy of being sucked into somebody else's energy and their stuff. And then when you're mingling and judging or saying anything about that stuff, you know, but good for you for like getting it. That's a spiritual warrior, right? We're not going to not do it. If we're
Yeah.
perfect, we're not going to be here anymore.
I just said that last night. I'm like, you
Yeah.
ever know?
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
right,
done.
dude, totally. So this is it, and I think I do this for myself because I need to just do checks. You know, a check, check. Sort of like a sound check. You know, check, check.
Yes.
It's like this is, and that's a.
Totally.
But here's the thing: like, I'm not beating myself up about it. I'm just observing it, going, "Wow, look at this need. Where do I have a need that's not being met?" That I needed to do this. Where is this? Because there's no unfinished business in this relationship. There's no anything.
That's what I mean about you
In
being a
fact,
pro. I'm like, she got in it. I do, you know, like, well, get
yeah,
in it.
I love you and thank you for saying that. And but one of the things that came up was so powerful. I got to tell you about this because you guys, this is just like my heart. This was a 5-minute conversation we had, literally. But in that time, I tell you how I was, and you want me to tell you what he did. So you know what he says to me? I gave him a little update about what's happening here at Spirituality Gone Wild, how we're going to Roku, Apple, we're going to all the major networks all over the place. It's huge, huge what's coming here on January 1st, right? He's known me a lot. He's known me for 20 years. During the time we were together, he saw me almost die in ICU for 4 weeks after having a hysterectomy and getting a staph infection from the hospital. This man would crawl in my hospital bed with me. Seriously. He so my I had a false image of who I thought he was. I thought he was godly, not a god, but godly in my eyes. And so that caused a lot of problems, just number one, because I put expectations on that, right? But he also saw me come back from that, make 6 figures, own my own business. A year and a half later, he saw a whole lot of things. And then 2008, and then the plummet and the explosions of everything. Two, I had this vision. I had this vision that we all know as Groupon. I even started it. It was called the City Guide. It was the same exact thing, but I didn't have the technology know-how to make this happen, Robyn. I saw the whole thing. I had it mapped out. I had it in place. I'm like, boom. And I said, no, I would tell him, I'm like, don't you see? It's like this, and this economy, and this is how we can help. Because I had an advertising publication that was hard copy that was a mailer. I went out to 30,000 homes. I'm like, oh my gosh, but if we use technology, we could do. So he reminds me in this conversation that I already told you where my blooper was of my greatness and saying to me, I know what your visions are about. I know that if you've seen it, it's true. And I sat there and went, wow, thank you. So I have to share that. How amazing is it that, and at this point, I hadn't even recognized yet that what I had done, by the way. I mean, no, I was aware of it in myself. I was aware of it. No, Corella DeVille was very aware of what was happening. So was Debbie in the background, but it wasn't in the foreground. You guys know when you do something that you know back here, you can hear that little voice going, I see you. And you're like, yeah, I don't really know you're there. So I'm still
Yeah.
just going to do it. I don't really hear you. And then afterwards, okay, fine. Yeah, I did see you. But hey, I just did what I wanted anyway. Cuppa Grata. So the gratitude moment in that 5-minute conversation was really about many things. It was me seeing a deeper part of myself I needed to see that I have to unpack, because if I don't unpack it, then it's going to go to another connection with me, another relationship with me. Somebody else is going to get the butt end of that stick, you know, unknown, not with something I don't want to do to a person is put my stuff on them. This is about that lighten up process, Robyn, that you've talked about here. So how else could we? Oh, I want to. You're taking this floor, but I just want to recognize modern day inventors. Was just you're beautiful, intelligent, loving, always sharing good vibrations. I always come to visit you to receive good vibrations. So thank you for being you and having great people on your platform. That adds to your greatness. Continued blessings, Debbie. Oh my God, dude. Thank you. I love
Sure.
I'm just over here like just I mean, what a beautiful edification right there. And I love that you just did that for me. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, Nicole. Good morning,
Good
Wendy.
morning.
Oh my
Good morning. Good morning. Hi.
spiritual backpacking. Woohoo! Yeah.
I love this StreamYard thing where it comes up with the picture and the comment. So when you guys lock in and add StreamYard, that's so
Look at
nice.
her. Look how cute she is.
I'm like so visual. I have a photographic memory. I love seeing the people that are there. So that's cool.
Well, this is Ellie. And Ellie here
Ellie.
is Ellie's right here in Palm Springs. She's one of our gratitude life alchemists. She just kicks butt. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this, of course, is Wendy. She's another gratitude alchemy life experimenter.
Howdy, Wendy. Oh, that's
Woo! Anyway, okay, so what
So
else? All right,
that,
so
that was tying in. Okay, so I'm gonna take that too because you triggered me. Trigger. The
I love that.
conversation I was having, or I say triggerific. #triggerific.
#triggerific.
Triggerific.
Triggerific. Oh my God, it's like Tigger. You know, bouncy,
Boing,
bouncy,
boing,
fun, fun,
boing,
fun,
boing, boing.
fun. The wonderful thing about triggers is they're not the only one. Boom! Trigger.
So,
A Tigger trigger. We said it.
one of the things about me and the work that I do is I'm a pattern recognition person, and that's where the photo memory comes in. And I was a photographer for a long time, and that helped me realize that I had this gift. And like I was the kid, I was like Adam Sandler in the game with the video game where he memorized the screens. I played Pac-Man when I was 12, and people would stand behind me to watch me play because I would go to so many levels. And by the way, I use that metaphor all the way. I'm going to go all non-linear, and then we're going to bring it back around. Okay, everybody? That's what we're going to do. But mostly it's women here, and we can do that a lot. So we will. It might seem like it's going on an exit, but I get back on, and then we have a fun ride. Okay, here we go. So
everybody locked in, seatbelts on.
Okay. But with the patterns and some of my work, but anyway, I memorized the screens. So what I was going to say about Pac-Man and the metaphor, because I'll leave it and then I won't come back, is it is just like a metaphor for life. And I did some teaching in Egypt with Resonance Science Foundation in March, right before the shutdown, about this. And I use Pac-Man as a metaphor a lot because we're getting through these game screens, right? All these different lifetimes, we get through the different ones. And then once you get through all the fruit and all the different stuff, it's the keys. And then there's all these keys, and you get to the different layers. And it's like the keys layers, once you've gotten through all of the ones, you know, and I can memorize the screen, then it starts getting hard and you're just running fast. And then you're just using all of the skills that you learned on the previous levels. And it's like, go time. Okay, cut the quarter, you know? And then when you come through again, it's just like the lifetimes I'm having that experience right now with the work that I'm doing and spirits asking me to do. They're like, okay, remember this level? You got here before and you died on this level. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this time cut this corner here. Don't pick up so many things. It'll slow you down, you know?
Yeah.
And so with the patterns, I got to 11 keys, by the way, on Pac-Man. That was a lot. But you do that. We do that, right? We learn throughout our life. We learn these things. We get a little bit better we go. We sometimes got to put some more quarters in. Sometimes we got to die and get back up, you know. And the patterns that I recognize, I started recognizing sort of algorithms. Like I see algorithms. I see algorithms in nature. I see algorithms in human behavior. I see algorithms in actual technology algorithms that are happening. And it helps me a lot in the work that I do. But the algorithms that I started seeing as a spiritual receiver is sort of the algorithms that are running in the collective for not just our personal relief, but collective. And Spirit said, think of it like, Spirit speaks in metaphors, and Spirit said, think of it as a self-cleaning oven. Like if you don't mess with the technology at these certain times of the year, say, it's going to work out your mom issues, your dad issues, your self-worth issues, your, whatever the stuff is coming up, or it might be a physical thing. And that's where I would notice, oh, everybody's going through this family stuff right now. Everybody's going through this. Everybody's going through this. So long story short, I hope there was something in there for you on the road to getting here. Is I am seeing this pattern and algorithm running right now with the feminine in particular, about being recognized, being seen, being heard, and being valued. And for you to receive that was super powerful for this person that you had loved, right? Even after you made a dig saying, I believe in you. You can sit and do your little things because it's, it's kind of like the kid going, oh, all right. But, and I was, last night was having this, thought about my dad, and validate. I'm doing this huge project, and he's seen me do huge projects before and stumble and fall. Right. And there's this energy there he's had where, I, in the last 2.5 years, have achieved miracles, right? After falling, like miracles, had family stuff going on, had personal stuff going on, like many of us, everything was stripped, right? And got back up like gangbusters, and have had miracles and miraculous people and all of this. And, he was over for dinner a couple of weeks ago, and my sister's involved with this project too, with the Mothership Alliance. And he was like, well, how's that going? Do you have enough stuff? Blah, blah, blah. And it's dad, concern, right? But there's fear there, and it was pissing me off. It, like, I found this reaction, I'm 52 years old, and I had this kind of little kid reaction where I was pissed, where I was just like, don't you believe in me? Why are you having fear? Like, have I not demonstrated, like, I've traveled the world. I'm working with like top geniuses in science and technology and like all of this stuff. Like, what have I done that would display to you that I don't know what the F I'm doing? Right. Yeah. And so it came up really strong. And then I was seeing this pattern of a lot of women around me in particular. And then somebody brought it up yesterday about this self-worth and validation issue. And this is a huge thing as the feminine's rising, as we're rising, in the masculine and the feminine, having these, because the feminine, part of the reason they haven't been valued is this patriarchal society that are in our system right now. It was values certain things over others, right? Where the intuition, the magic, the power of the feminine that, like my friend says sometimes, I can't always show my work. Right? So some of the masculine aspects, you can show your work. The house is built. The math is done. This is, you know what I mean? And then for the feminine, which is like dark matter, dark mother, and that is the spaces in between. That is the stuff that like makes the household run and you don't even know why, makes things happen and shift. So this is this value of the feminine and our power and our knowing. And I had that experience with maybe someone I was married to. Figured out, people, I'm not naming names, but there was only one. I had intuitive decisions and hits that I had, like about property, or, like, we should do this. No. Second guessing. Right. And when we didn't, and it failed, and there were a couple of things that were like, we would have made like $500,000 flipping in a year or something. I'm like, oh, we should do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of work there, but I'm just seeing it come up. And then it's the point, Spirit says to me, don't worry if nobody values any of it. You know what to do. You know what you're doing. All we got to do, just like you were saying, is worry about your side of the street and your value. But it's easier said than done, especially when it's loved ones, it's your father, it's whatever. And I had this thing last night, and my dad doesn't mean it. He means it in absolute concern. He wants to make sure that I'm taken care of, that I'm not burning myself out, because I've done that before. I'll take it to the limit. And, I have really learned my lessons. I've really done the work. I continue to do the work. When it comes up like you just did, I'm like, okay, what was that? And I felt like I wanted to voice it, and I will, like, don't put that fear on it, please. It's an energy. I know it's concern for you, but it's fear, and you're projecting fear onto my stuff. Trust the feminine. The feminine is being asked. If you're gentlemen out there, anyway, trust. When the feminine is going to lead, you got to trust, and we might take you somewhere where you're not used to going, in a way you're not used to getting there.
Yep. And
it's like, we are not going to hurt you. We're not going to betray you. These are huge issues, because we
Lord.
had them, and the feminine has often hurt the masculine in order to survive. Right? We've had to manipulate, because there was only like 3 noblemen in the town that had any decent dough. So all of the women are fighting each other to get it. And that's the only way we could get property. This is deep stuff that we're coming out through this portal. Like leave that baggage by the side of the train, and we're getting on. What's your train portal cup? Was that you that had the train? Yeah.
No, the Cuppa Grata.
Yeah. Didn't you have the 9.5?
Yeah, I had that too.
Yeah. So last time we were talking, I was like, yeah, we're about to get to the train station at the 9.5 portal. So it ain't going to get on it with our stuff.
Yeah, no. And just when you think you cleared it all up. No, because that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Otherwise, you're croaking, because that's like Dr. Wayne Dyer. Did you watch the man get more and more and more, like, just observing life, like in this
and he got rid of
elevated everything. He got rid of everything. Well, Daniel Gutierrez was on here from Catalinas in Peru, which is where we're going to be all doing retreats. And I love you, Daniel. He's just amazing. But he and I were talking about the same thing, where you just everything's gone. Now, in his case, he chose, like Dr. Wayne Dyer, to get rid of everything. Some people, like me, it just is what happened. And I don't mean anything little. I'm talking like everything, all the way down to the last nugget of every little bit of every little thing, period. Everything I have is new. There isn't anything in my life right now. I don't have photos other than what I've scanned.
Wow.
All of it. And it doesn't matter how that happened. What matters here, and that's the third round of that. But this was the final round. But you see, when you learn how to truly release shit, because you have no choice, you're going to release it. Those people out there that have had fires and been devastated by destruction and by natural disasters, they know there's not anything you can do about it other than pull yourself up by the bootstraps and say, all right, let's climb back on this horse. We got this.
Yeah.
Because, and maybe it's just time to release all that stuff that nobody really cares about but me anyway, because I was the only one that cared about the 2 giant containers of my children's schoolwork from the time they were in preschool. Nobody else is going to care about that. Only me. They don't even care about that. My kids don't want to know about that. So really it's about the observation of what is this attachment? Why is it there? Why do you think that it needs to be there? These, this big, well, I've got to do this and leave this legacy. No, your legacy is what you do as a person, at what heart prints you leave on the planet. The legacy's not in those boxes.
Against the feather,
right? I would, yes, I would rather between now and the next 100 years as they happen, for my future great grandchildren, greats to have heard about this grandmother they once had, Debbie G, and she talked about gratitude all the time. That's the legacy. How do we do this?
That's a beautiful legacy.
So if you have stuff that you're holding on to and you feel like it's holding you down, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. I mean, if you have a greater purpose in this world, and part of that greater purpose is to learn complete and utter total unattachment and lighten up, then lighten up. It may be lightening up the stuff that you've got going in your house. It may be lightening up with your attitude and with how that you're beating yourself up. It might be lighten up with the things that you think are your responsibility, and maybe they're really not, and maybe you're owning other people's stuff, like Robyn said. Maybe if we look at this, like Robyn said, as a video game, and yours was Pac-Man, mine was right, mine was Mario Brothers. I loved Mario Brothers. Okay, I beat every one of those stinking Mario Brothers. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell y'all something about this. Dude, oh my God! Oh, Centipedes was my. I like the ball.
Oh, right. I saw people. I had friends. They were like that. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you're just over there going. And then, yeah, I was that person. I think it's because I liked music, so it's just like I played guitar, so I like using two hands. I don't know, who knows. Anyway, but I remember back in the day. So I'm playing that game. When you beat the levels, what she said is, "Where did you croak at the last level?" Mm-hmm. That moment, like you're dealing with the monster at the end of that level, and you're just like, "How do I defeat this? Which actions do I take? Which actions?"
And usually it's because you were trying to do too much. You were trying to get too many points. You were trying to get, like, if I just get that cherry over there,
yeah,
I'll get 200 points, and I'll go, but like that killed you.
That killed you. But instead of just that practice, you had to. So in order to defeat a level, you had to continue to practice it. And if you were like me, kind of like a smart ass, you knew where to go and look to find the cheats. Mm-hmm. Seriously, you knew where to find them. I don't even remember how did I used to find these. I don't even remember. I think they were books.
The Easter eggs, they call them a lot of times too. And it's not just the Easter eggs, but the cuts. And so, I know so many game developers, and I think like Spirit does, like, will hide things in there, and they get joy out of that. I say too, like, if you there's extra points in the game if you find the diamond in that. So there's extra points in the game, people. If you find that lighten up diamond, it's in there. Some people walk by, oh, that's a pile of poo. I'm like, I know, it might be in there. It's just gonna suck, but
she found
it like that for a visual. Good morning.
Yeah, people. No, it's not good, but it's still. She's put sprinkles on it, and calls it good.
Just get it.
Just dig in the shit till you find what you're looking for. Okay, that's what she's saying. But these are the cheats. This is right now what we're doing is by sharing our experiences. It's hoping that you're getting some cheats. You're getting
tricks in the game, right?
Yeah, totally. You guys
this is like what the gamers do. They go and sit and they're like, okay, if you go over there into the castle, go around, get the torch, run down the stairs, take a right.
Right? That's what they do. And that's what we're doing. So in that respect, you'd have to, I mean, I don't know. Some people have never played a video game. How would they resonate with that?
Everybody's played a video game.
You think everybody's played a video game?
Some sort.
You had to have played a video game.
Yeah. Like
you'd have to be like Amish. You'd have to be like Amish if you'd never played a video game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm just gonna
And
play
even if
video.
you haven't, it's a great metaphor because it is.
It really is.
It's what goes on. And if it's not, it's chess. It's like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You could do it with analog. Let's go analog. It's chess.
totally.
So you have this strategy. It's like, oh, I thought it was going to go that way, but then this one's here. And then you learn it. And that's why these masters of chess
Totally.
play it and play it and play it and play it. And this is what we do with our lifetimes, right? We
Right.
play the game. We play the game. We get a little bit better. We get a little bit better. And then at some point, we give up trying to compete. We give up trying to win. And we just enjoy playing it. And that's
Exactly.
where you really win.
Yeah, it's
That
100.
sounded good, didn't it?
Yeah, it was beautiful. Actually, I thought that was
Nice.
brilliant. I
Nice.
love that. That's it. You just enjoy it. That's what the lightning up's about.
It is true.
So, but I've been noticing though that there's triggers from different senses that I have, and I also want to discuss the fact that, by the way, you know why this work's so important? Because the way I would have coped with not understanding what my own intention or needs were in the past would have been some sort of go-to. I would have felt shamed. I would have felt really shamed by my behavior. Okay. I would have felt and so to not shame myself. I mean, quite frankly, my heart felt sad for how I acted. I did not. That's not. It wasn't even right. And so that shaming comes up. And if that shame comes up, if you haven't figured out how to love yourself, even though you may have acted in a way that doesn't suit you or anyone else, well, this is why these practices, learning how to appreciate yourself, even when you do something, because it's a beautiful expression of something that's not met inside of you. That's it.
And there's extra points in the game when you just own it.
Right, but the owning exactly. But in the past, I would have went to, and if I got triggered, would have went to smoking a cigarette. I used to pretend that smoking wasn't a go-to habit. Like I just did it because I wanted to. That's such bullshit. I just gotta tell you because I quit.
I've been there, done that, and just recently, Debbie knows that recently that I've just like given that up. I started again through like a life trial after not smoking for 12 years. Like
same thing, yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
And then I quit almost a year ago now, and it just, But the thing is that there were triggers that would send me into spirals, and I would disconnect. I would go into a Netflix binge. I would do anything, and sometimes a Netflix binge, honestly, quite frankly, or a Gaia binge is probably really, really good for you, just to escape. If you're like us and you're just a constant, you just have got a million things spinning at one time. Sometimes you could do that, but otherwise, if you're doing it to escape, and anything escapism is where the addictions lie. The addictions and the things and the coping skills that are no good for you. They're no good for you. I knew they were no good for me. And mine is food right now. So and even with that, I'll observe that. But just notice what's happening when you are triggered. And then the triggers that come up, okay. Smells. I smelled someone the other day that walked by me that reeked of booze. Like, we have masks on. And the smell got
booze.
And I'm like, like just going, how did that, like, could you imagine how much booze
I don't drink, so like I can smell it across the room,
It's seeping, that stench that seeps out of their pores.
Yeah, it's like, this might not even be from today. This might be from last night.
And you're just
like, a rough one, pal.
Dude, you've had a rough month.
Yeah.
Flip, man. But it triggered me. It triggered that trigger. Like, I instantly felt myself just like irritated. So smells are triggering.
Oh, they can take you everywhere, right?
Yeah. So that's one. So when you have, this is defining where it starts is key here. And that's the thing. The trigger, what's really in the trigger is just simply something for you to observe. A trigger is nothing more than your body reacting and then your brain hearing at you in the limbic system, because your body is reacting first and then it's sending signals up to the brain. Okay. And then your brain goes, oh, I'm irritated, right? Because what happened is the smell triggered the sensation in my body of disgust and irritation, either of myself or somebody else that had been drinking in my life, right? And then my brain went up here to, I'm so disgusted. It went right into animal, freaking back here into reptilian response completely. Now,
Judgy. Yeah.
total. Judging, but good. And then condoning the judgment with, well. So I'm not even going to say, because it doesn't even matter. The point is that the trigger is what I saw. And then I went, this is where the trick is, guys. You see, it comes up, the sensation was in my body. It all happens in a split second. But if you get good enough at this practice, you'll notice that the trigger's there. You'll notice where it's coming from, and you'll diffuse the little sucker, because you'll be like, but here, guess what? I control my thinking. I control my
love
thinking.
on it, right?
Yeah, put love
like
on
that
it. Yep.
Person, God bless them. Please have help for them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if somebody's head to toe soaked, that they need some love and they need healing. So it's like, okay. And thank God, you know, it's not you.
That's the best they could do at that time. That's the best they could do at that time. It requires extreme compassion. And you and I have not been through what we've been through, not to practice.
I have stunk like that.
Yeah, me too. And I'm going to tell you all.
But yeah, I went to a meeting in the morning, you know,
yes,
where I was smelling from the night before. And I was like, myself, like, oh my God. Like anybody who's like, get a good drink on, but you know.
So I think the real important part here is the shift. And the shift for me is curiosity. What must be real for that person right now? What must be real? What I get really curious about what's real for another person, especially if I'm going into judgment. And just loving them and accepting them the way that they are. But you guys, I want you to understand that you have that point in time. Just because your body sends a signal up to your limbic system in your brain does not mean that you have to stay there. You can actually flip it, switch it, and change it for yourself. It's a practice. You just have to
master your mind like a kid, like a mother with a kid, like a toddler. You can sit there and tell them, no, we're not going to go to that thing. We're not going to do this. And they're like, yeah, la, la. Remember, it's like, oh, look, that ball just ran over there. Can you go get it?
Yeah.
They're off. We're done with this problem. Instead of sitting there trying to argue with a 2-year-old who's having a fit. Right. So I like try to think of that as the 2-year-old that's having a fit or just some ingrained reaction. And then I put my focus elsewhere, or like you just did, you know, what's that about? Okay, noted, pass, next.
Exactly. Yeah.
Next,
and
game level.
Boom, you guys, we just gave you the trick. This is how that you defeat and master that next level.
Extra points, extra lifetime. Ding, ding,
ding. I mean, let's check out Nicole. Oh my God, look at this. Okay, so that is cool. Okay, she says lighting up diamond. Yep, light.
Oh, Nicole, you're one of those. I get smells from the other side.
Oh my God!
The other day. Oh, that could be a whole show.
Are you getting anybody getting roses? Yeah, are you getting roses smells? I'm getting roses like lately all the time.
It's
roses.
Mother's in the house. She's going to clean it, and she's going to have her kids get together. She wants them all to get along, and she wants us to play. Okay, that's the order I got from Mom.
I love that. And I also, I want to thank over here on the watch party, I've got Modern Day Inventors again. It says, thank you. I'm learning as a single dad. I always seek understanding how to raise my daughter. She was recently diagnosed as borderline genius at 18 years young. Oh, goodness. Yes. Listening to you and Robyn gives me a better understanding of how to listen and just continue to support her. She's a true humanitarian. Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay, I'm going to say something about genius.
Yes, I have one of those. Yes, please.
Yeah, I am one of those, and so are you. But anyway, genius, the etymology of genius is geni. Geni is spirit. You talk to spirit, you work with spirit. People talk about getting downloads. There are many inventors, many times artists, whatever, when you're in flow with the universe and you're receiving that and then putting it, a lot of the I call it the wart on genius. I have a crazy creative family that is genius. My dad's one of 10 kids, but is fraught with a lot of bipolar, depression, anxiety, addictions, a lot of this, because it is a lot. It's a lot of information that you see that a lot of people don't see. It's a sensitivity. But when you can channel that and literally channel it and work with spirit, that's true genius. That's what genius means. It's like working with the human with genius. That's how heaven comes to earth, right? Geni, us. So, yeah, Geni, us. Genius.
Hot diggity damn.
Very good. So good luck with your daughter. She's going to be amazing with a father like you who's caring about this, who's listening with an open heart and an open mind. Bless you.
Big bless you. I love this. And yeah, my son, I've got two children. Yeah, that's exactly right. And the first one graduated when he was 15. And he also spoke 5 languages by then. Self-taught.
Whoa.
Yeah, and programming by the time he was 19. Lots of insane stuff. And then I got my other one who literally, I think he was, I don't know, 9 or 10 writing his first book. Some craziness. But here's what you just said, see, is that sometimes it's a lot of information and sometimes addictions come in because they don't know how to cope with it. And I didn't know how to teach them the coping skills because I didn't have any.
Dang,
So here we are today practicing compassionate communication, and Christopher has studied it as well. We're both getting better at it all the time. My other one is we're learning, guys, we're learning. So to be where you're at right now with your daughter, and she's 18, and to have that awareness is so freaking awesome, because there's a lot of beauty with that. You have an understanding that I didn't necessarily have.
And these kids are gonna lead us what they're getting. I mean, kids, they're seeing the color, not only knowing and so bright, but they're seeing the colors, they're seeing all of it.
Well, you know who came? My granddaughter's 7.
Oh yeah, you show me videos of her stuff, and she is one of those indigo crystal, whatever you want to call it. They're coming in lit up without a lot of the karmic baggage, and God listen to them, play with them, learn from them. Talk about the feminine leading. It's the children too, and that is a form the children right now is just that power of joy. Monsters Inc. was right. I always say that Monsters Inc. was right. It's where the fear, they were powering off the fear, and then they figured out at the end that it's twice, 10,000 watts more, the laughter, the joy.
That's right. I love it. Okay, so we're heading up on the hour, guys, and I want to talk about the Mothership Alliance, and then we're going to have one quick word from our sponsors.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll end it up with a little shameless plug about joy and a little mission that I received from Mother. I always it's Ma. Mothership Alliance is Ma. It is a media mission. It is a tech mission. It is about raising up the feminine and our projects, and goes a lot with Debbie G's stuff, mothershipalliance.org. You can read about it. It is a gathering, a network of networks. It is a container, an order of orders. And we have men too, our Blue Rose Knights, Ma's Blue Rose Knights. And a lot of people receive, different spirits, work with different, I call it different offices from the office of heaven. And what I tune into a lot is mother aspects of God, and in mother aspects, I'll get mother and grandmother spirits of people's deceased that come through, a lot of the mother, that channel. So I got through Like mom wants us to have fun. Like I said before, mom wants our family to come together. And then also my daughter's not coming for Christmas. And it was in this dark hole that I received this light and this assignment, and it was to have fun. And this 12/12 to 12/21, for those of you who are into this, which you are, because we're spirituality gone wild, is probably one of the most important gateways in human history. It's 8 years since 12/12/12. We're going infinity and beyond, infinity and beyond. And so I received the instructions to do something fun. It has been a shit year. It has been so heavy. It has been so intense, and we need to lighten up. So my mothership members, we do offerings and shows and classes and all of this stuff. And we're going to be doing like dance and dancing parties and ceremony and like kid stuff. We're bringing the kids in. A lot of these spiritual programs and everything, they're beautiful and everything, but they forget the kids, and the kids are where the power's at. So we're going to do a lot of kid stuff, and everybody's going crazy with their kids at home. So we're doing a holiday survival fair. And
That's great.
and it was like pretty short notice. And then I had other work that blew up, but it's really cool. We're going to have an Eventbrite site, which hopefully is going up today. It starts on Saturday, but it's going to run for 10 days, 10 days of light. And we're going to do a Ma's Got Talent, and people can submit, and we're going to have a kids showcase, and we're going to have, how to make stuff. We're going to make stuff at home with the kids. And then also grown-ups, breath work, things to get you through, like a temple for meditation and prayer twice a day, open on Zoom, so people can be with other people. Really, really powerful for us to be together right now, because this is going to be a doozy energetically, and just the holidays alone. So holiday survival fair. If you need to be with people, have fun. If you're not doing it there, do it somewhere else. Lighten up is what the memo and the call is. And I picked up the phone and I'm like, you got the right girl for that. And I've got people on my boat that are so fun and so creative, and they're doing shows and dance parties and classes, and we're praying it up and meditating it up and moving it up so that we can move this energy through this gateway. We're birthing it. This is the birth canal. We're going to come out Christmas with a new baby, and the Christos is coming through us all. So that's my rant, and I'm sticking to it.
That's her rant. She's sticking to it. And I love that. And I absolutely love that. And I don't know, Spirituality Gone Wild, though, be partaking with her on some with this. And I love this because we have a virtual convergence center.
Our memo is make media.
We have you know that we have a virtual convergence center set up, actually. So we need to we'll figure it all out. But anyway, guys, look, if you absolutely had a blast here today, then you'd have a real big blast in our Untamed Club. Go to spiritualitygonewild.com. Join our Untamed Club. We are partners with Mothership Alliance, partners with Unify, partners with a whole lot of really super great people. Make sure that you watch Robyn and I and the rest of the ladies on Unify Women Rising, which is on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. You don't want to miss it. This week we have Josie Herndon coming, and this is a plug for Josie. If anybody is facing addiction out there, I'm actually going to put up another website really quickly. I really am going to tell you right now that the place to reach out to is called Addiction or Advanced Therapeutic Services. It's mental health. It's mental health, and it's right here. Here's the website. It's mental health.
This is a huge one coming up for the collective too.
This is recovery.
We got to break this chains. We
got to break this chain and she's going to
the next train.
And she's going to be on tomorrow talking about, we're going to have a Recovery View channel on our new Roku station, as well as Recovery View channel is going to be insane. We've got TJ Woodward with Conscious Recovery, and with a lot of other leaders in the industry of recovery. I want Dr. Sidoroff, because Dr. Sidoroff is from UCLA and has done all that incredible research and science behind biofeedback and biofeedback systems that he's created specifically to shift the brainwaves in the recovery process. Yeah, he's awesome. And there's just so many other things. So Josie will be on.
I got people for you too.
Nice. Oh, you can't. We can't make it big enough. Everyone's recovering from something. I don't care what it is.
I love it when you say it's so true.
Everybody. And I got that from Josie, and Josie got that from somebody. But you see, because that's where we are the 100th monkey. Be the 100th monkey.
But this is what we came for, y'all. This is what we
This
came.
is it.
Tournament
This is
time.
it.
Tournament time. You see him coming? We Jedi trade to get here. We're here. Let's do this.
Fully.
Let's clear it. Let's go. And then we're on the fun ride. Love roller coaster.
All right, guys. So remember, who are you?
I love being on with you, Debbie.
I love being on with you too. Cuppa Grata, who are you grateful for? It's way more important than what you have, even though you can be grateful for anything you'd like to be grateful for. But to get into gratefulness, it's about the Who'sville.
So Holiday Survival Fair, it's on Mothership Alliance. It's on LinkedIn. It's on, we have just opened a page on Facebook for it, a public page, Holiday Survival Fair 2020. And you can learn about it. We just got the basic description. We're going to be loading in the classes and events, and you don't have to pay nothing to be on that page. We're going to be sprinkling super fun in there, and the rest is by donation. We're raising funds for mothers and families, and our mothers and families that are providing it.
Love that. I love you guys. All right. Peace.
All right.